everybody, it's Ryan McCaffrey from IGN. We're up here at 343 Industries getting an early look at the Crimson Map Pack, the first downloadable multiplayer map pack for Halo 4. I'm joined by Mike Ellis, Design Director at 343. How's it going, Mike?
Hey, Ryan.
So, what are we looking at here?
So, this is Shatter, and it's a really good map for a lot of objective-based play. Thing for Shatter for me is all about controlling the channels that run down the middle of the map. I think if you get some guys with some long-range weapons able to control those channels, you can control the flow of the enemy, and in objective play, that really is a big plus for you.
Now we're doing straight up Infinity Slayer here. So we've got what I think we've got 6-on-6.
Mm-hmm.
Is that accurate? So are we going to see some sort of natural choke points here where the action sort of gravitates towards this middle area, or does it tend to spread? Oh my goodness.
And now we got a mech in play.
Never
and this
mind.
is where things get really interesting. It's all about team play in order to be able to take down that mech, and the team that have the mech also want to surround it with infantry to prevent the other infantry being able to disable it.
So is this map called Shatter because it's going to shatter your confidence as soon as that mantis shows up?
Pretty much. But aside from that, there's these beautiful natural crystal formations around the map that the mining company are harvesting.
So there's a big strategy we're seeing here with Halo 4 is can really level the playing field with the vehicles by disabling them with the overcharged plasma burst. That even works well against the Mantis.
Yep, I think that's a core tactic that every team needs to be employing, is shut down the enemy's ability to leverage vehicles on the battlefield while keeping yours running by protecting them with infantry.
So do you find it wise to, I know I do in my personal loadouts at home, to spend a couple Spartan points on the plasma pistol and use it with just about or most every loadout for this exact purpose?
Yeah, I think you get a lot of guys who really like using that plasma pistol as an insurance policy against vehicles. Me personally, I still like to randomize my play in order to make sure I don't fall into any one set pattern.
Right.
And it really depends on the map and the game mode.
Oh, wicked headshot there by our very talented 343 driver. So we're seeing a couple vehicles on this map, but really, it's all about the Mantis, is it not? If you can control one or both of them, you're in good shape.
Yeah, if this game's a game of chess, then I think the Mantis is definitely your queen. And it's all about keeping that Mantis in play for as long as you can.
So there's a Ghost down just sort of casually parked near the middle of the map. So we're going to grab it now.
And the Ghost is a great little vehicle for picking off a lot of infantry.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that...
There we see there's the shutdown from the plasma pistol, and then the finishing off.
The advantage of the Ghost was quickly made moot right there. It was a very talented overcharge and then a plasma stick.
As you can see, a lot of players also like to leverage the jetpack on this map because there's lots of areas where they can gain some verticality and so to try and trip other players up.
You can tell that we are actually at 343 in the greater Seattle area because we're playing against the testers who are all ludicrously talented. They've maybe been playing this game a little bit here and there. So as usual, as we see with a lot of the Halo 4 maps, there's some subtle color coding in play to help you navigate around the map. We saw blue highlights on one building, right, and then there's red markings on another to help you determine which part of the map you're on.
Yeah, essential for navigating in Shatter is knowing whether you're on the light side of the map or the dark side of the map. And then in conjunction with that, there's also blue and red bases. You can see some of those markings here.
Yes.
And between those two things, you should be able to tell wherever you are on the map, which side you're on and which way you've got to go.
We see DMR, clearly a favorite in all of Halo 4, but particularly on this map. It's just it's useful in almost every situation.
It's a really versatile weapon, especially in a map like this where there's some of the longer sight lines. But you'll also see some players switching it up, and what they'll do is they'll stay to those interiors and they'll try and reduce the sight lines and wait for players to come into their space.
Well, this match is moving quickly. We are already Got a tight one going between blue and red team. And oh, the teleport saving the day right there. We don't see a lot of teleporters in Halo 4. Like Halo 1 teleporters were pretty pop. Oh my goodness. Halo 1 made a pretty substantial use of teleporters, and we've sort of slowly seen them fade away. But we've got a couple maps. Wreckage, there's a teleporter, and here. What do you guys tend to not favor them for map flow purposes, or what's sort of the pluses and minuses of using teleporters in a multiplayer map?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of different pluses and minuses, as you said. One of those being that it's very easy to get around a map and suddenly pop up in one place. You saw a great little tactic before where the player stepped back into a teleporter in order to save himself upon a shield pop. But the downside is sometimes if you have less experienced players, it can be very disconcerting to suddenly jump across a map, and some players lose their ability to navigate.
Didn't quite get the overcharged plasma burst off there. So again, we're playing Infinity Slayer here, but clearly this map is going to be very friendly to fans of objective game types.
Yeah, I think it's got a great layout. It's symmetrical, though it's not overly simplistic in its shape. You have the two bases either end that will act as your main focal points. And then those three main channels right down the middle are something you really want to fight over. But at the same time, no team can really lock them down because of the two side tunnels that players can very quickly come along and flank someone's positions. So I think it's one of those classic maps where you really need to make sure you've got a good balance between offense and defense.
Well, this is already this is going to be a favorite for sure. Just DMR paradise, plenty of objective game types. Oof. We're almost to the end of the match.
So now we're entering one of those side areas I was talking about before. You had this sort of darkened tunnel area between the light and dark sides that runs round the edge of the map. And that enables you to get to the larger bases. And what some players can do is go up the ramp you see here, and that will give you a good firing position down onto where the enemy are beginning to spawn or congregate. So you can see how that looks down onto the base.
And that is an Infinity Slayer match on Shatter. Look forward in the Crimson multiplayer map pack coming very soon to Halo 4. Mike, thank you.
Thank you.